Peace and blessings, y'all. We're going to kick this episode off with some Corey Guns, y'all.
Black Sun, Militia.
What's these first? Yes, it's never questions asked. Deep dirt, strap. I make that pressure last. Street skirt. Let every weapon flash. Toast tag that core in the swag. How we check it back. Squeeze first. It's never questions asked. Deep dirt, strap. I make that pressure last. Street skirt. Let every weapon flash. Toast tag that core in the swag. How we check it back.
Y'all know how to move when it's danger. Why? Cause I don't know how to cool when it's anger. I ain't gotta use a finger, and I'm removing your molecule with an anchor. Beat you to a pole, you move to the hospital and a strainer. This performing an abortion on a prostitute with a hanger. If a lot of you remains, then you gotta use a container. Call a lawyer, you gotta use the retainer. But we lift heavyweight, fuck a jogging suit and a trainer. I cock and shoot with the flamer. That's my way. We sell bricks half off for Black Friday. Stone saying you can't see the middle cause that's pave. Cougar riding shotgun with me, that's Sade. Brick delivered from Mexico, nigga, that's Padre. Money talks, nigga, that's blase. Blah. I'm on a fast highway, I'm whipping a jag sideways. My clip longer than my last driveway. Prick block, drive through like I ain't get the bevy.
Let every weapon flash, toast tag that core in the swag. How we check it back, squeeze first. It's never questions asked. Deep dirt, strap. I make that pressure last. Street skirt. Let every weapon flash, toast tag that core in the swag. How we check it back.
Aviator Ray-Bans and a leopard Chevy. Spin the block, drive through like I ain't get the bevy. I do shit by any means, never necessary. I'll have your noodles stuck to the metal like it's wet spaghetti. Remember when I was on a mission to spawn bread? Psychic felt the bomb treads when my palm read. Pull through and get to the point like a long thread. Me and Graf, Martin and Will in a house of blonde dread. I never...
That's that Corey Guns, y'all. Go check out that Corey Guns. That's called Deep Dirt.
Adrian Iraola is the father of two former students. He was speaking about racism directed at his children when the meeting went south.
When I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
The school district is predominantly white, and Tom Bertel, the parent who interrupted, was defending students who made the posts.
Try being white, walk in a black neighborhood, see what happens, you know? And like this incident where somebody made a little tweet. Okay, nobody was hurt in that. You know, nobody got hurt in that. It was done off campus.
This man is a father of a son who was on the receiving end of the racial slurs that got everyone here.
My son comes to school every day trying to get an education, but he has to deal with that BS.
Iraola came to this country 4 decades ago and now owns 3 Mexican restaurants.
Just want to run over the stats, y'all, real quick. See who's been checking in with us. Yeah. Just going to break into the episode for a minute, y'all. So we're up 10.4% from last month at this time. And so let's see. So shout out Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Washington State, West Virginia, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, California, Tennessee, Texas, Massachusetts, North Carolina, New York, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, and Missouri. Shout y'all out. We appreciate everyone that's listening to us. We appreciate it. Now let's see in the world. So obviously United States, Canada, Germany, France, United Kingdom, Mexico, Armenia, Belgium, Switzerland, Philippines, Serbia, and South Africa. Shout y'all out. We appreciate y'all listening. People are listening on Podbean, Spotify, Safari, Google Chromes, Amazon Music Podcast, Google Podcasts, Edge, Firefox, And then there's an unknown source that people are listening to. Yeah, so we appreciate everyone that's listening. Shout y'all out. You know what I mean? All right, let's get back to this episode.
I zone the fuck out, you know? I zone the fuck out, you know? This is my shit right here. Have many styles. Shit is getting deep, my nigga. Niggas trying to eat my nigga. Shit is getting deep, my nigga. Niggas trying to eat my nigga. Talk about the streets, my nigga. Fuck a car when you trying to get a fleet, my nigga. On my J. Cole shit, but you know it's the ghost song. Seen niggas form Voltron, load up the Glocks, hit another nigga block like, yeah, this the one we about to move dope on. Ain't even they city, ain't even they state, but you gotta say fuck it when you gon' move weight. You kill a kid that when the money come late.
So, more bullshit by the whites. Because it's to the point now where, like, if people are offended, like when I come on here and I say something about a white person or something negative or something bad or something disrespectful they're saying or doing, and you're somebody white, or even if you're somebody black or brown, and you get offended when you hear me say something like that, that's a you problem. Because one thing I'm not going to do, oh, excuse me, I hope the wind's not, hold on, let me try to go to a spot where it's not all windy. Because one thing I'm not going to do is get on this podcast and just make up stuff. I'm never going to ever make up anything. I may give an opinion, or it's going to be something based in fact. And if it's my opinion, I'm going to tell you, that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it or whatever. You know what I mean? Because we all have opinions about stuff. Even people that aren't political, you know what I mean? If you ask them a question, they'll be able to form an opinion about it just based off how they think about things or whatever. But you know what I mean? But my point is, it's either going to be my opinion and or it's going to be something that I'm talking about is going to be based in fact. And then at that point, whether you like what the facts are, that's a personal problem. That's a you problem. Because facts don't change. Facts do not change. Just people's opinions and how they feel about them change back and forth. That's why people always argue and debate stuff all the time. But if something's a fact, it remains a fact. It just means that you don't agree with it or you don't like it. But that doesn't not make it not be true. You see what I mean? So basically, that's what I'll be saying, because I know sometimes, well, I would assume, I think it's a safe bet to assume the majority of the people that listen to Michelle and I feel would at least either partially agree or feel very similar to, I'd say, probably maybe 75% of the stuff we say. Like, no one's going to always agree on everything, but you know what I mean? I would assume that, because when I take a look at it and I look at who's listening and stuff like that, like Michelle said, it is mostly blue states or whatever. And I just want to say, shout out my Latino and Latina folks, you know what I'm saying? That, I like to call y'all real ones, because it's fake people in every race. It's fake Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? I like to call them Whiter Ricans because they act more white than they act Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? We have people like that in the Mexican community. Fake Mexicans, I call them. They act more white than they act Mexican. An example of a fake Mexican would be someone, and this happens too all the time. If you go back and listen to an episode, I mean, it was from months ago already, but played a clip of a Mexican guy. He was yelling and screaming at this other Mexican guy, telling him to go back over the wall, you know, go back to Mexico and all that shit. Yeah, that's a fake Mexican to me. How are you going to disrespect your own bloodline, basically? Because that's a racist statement. That's something a white racist individual would say. Go back to Mexico. You see what I mean? So that's what acting white means. When you hear somebody say that somebody's acting white, that's what that'll be meaning. Especially if it's race related, that's what that means. When you tell somebody they're acting white, it don't mean that they sound white. I mean, someone could be referring to that, but it don't mean they sound white or they do white stuff or they, you know what I'm saying? It's how they feel. It's what they say, it's what they do, it's how they treat people. You know what I mean? Any Mexican telling another Mexican to go back to Mexico, that's a racist statement. All right, y'all. Charlie and I are back in from outside. Yeah, for people who, you know, may just be listening for the first or second or third time or whatever. You know what I mean? If you hear Michelle or I reference Chewy, Marley, or Charlie, those are our pets. Marley is our cat. And then we have 2 pugs. One of our pugs, he'll be 1 year old on Valentine's Day. He's Chewy. And then we have Charlie, he's 14. He's our other pug. And then we have Marley, she's our cat. She's 11. Yeah. She's actually, FYI, if anyone's interested. So Marley is a calendar queen, a calendar princess, or whatever you want to call it. We entered her into this calendar thing. You know what I mean? You send your pet's picture in or whatever, and then if they get chosen, you know, they're on this calendar. So Marley was Miss October for 2024. And if you guys are interested, I'll tell you what calendar this is or whatever, so you go check it out. Yep. This is the paw print calendar 2024-2025 from June 24th through May 25th. Yeah. So y'all go check that out. Marley's October on that one. Morning, baby. Morning. Michelle's got her 414 t-shirt on. I'll just let Charlie out. He's eating breakfast too right now. Yeah, they said there was some space junk in the air last night. I guess they said something about a satellite breaking up or whatever. That's what it was, I guess. People saw stuff in the sky. Yeah, I guess so. But they're saying something about it's just a satellite that had, like, basically all busted up and broken up. So. Coffee.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
We have that.
What, baby?
So you're not, like, doing only 2 at a time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because we're talking about the laundry. Because we only have 2 washers and 2 dryers on each floor. So what I did, I just started washing clothes at like 4 o'clock this morning. And I just went to the 4th floor and then the 5th floor. And just did it like that. So that way I got 4 loads knocked out in one hit. Yeah. So I got to go feed Marley. Yeah, so I'm sure y'all do this too in the morning and stuff when you get home from work and all that kind of stuff. Feed your pets. Morning, Marley. You ready for breakfast, honey? Yeah, Marley's Miss October in that paw print calendar. Y'all go check that out. Yeah. Come here, honey. I'm going to feed you. Yeah, but I hope life's treating everyone well. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here in this world, right? All right, hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I'm going to feed Marley. Hey, honey. Come on. I'll buy you some more shreds today. Very vocal this morning, honey. Yeah, these cats, these animals act like they never ate before. Here, honey. There you go. All right. There you go. I gotta buy her some more wet food. I don't know if y'all got cats and stuff like that or whatever, but like I know our cat Marley, she don't eat pate. She will not mess with pate. It's gotta be like, you know, the flakes or like the shreds. Yeah, so she'll be acting bougie sometimes. All right, y'all. Back to this episode. Enjoy the music, the clips, and the content.
White House is pausing all funding for most federal grant or loan programs, and by 4 o'clock Tuesday, they'd shut down until directed to reopen.
My staff in our Head Start and early Head Start programs are, in fact, laid off effective today at 4 o'clock.
How many staff members are we talking that are going to be affected by this?
Roughly 65 people at this point. And 309 kids that we serve, so 250 families or so whose lives are significantly disrupted out of nowhere.
Nolan says they later received this communication from the White House, indicating that funding for Head Start would not be paused. But Nolan says for much of the day, they remained shut out of the system where they can access critical funds.
We're not able to trust communications. Are these accurate? Are they not accurate?
Late Tuesday, Nolan says officials were able to get into the system, but he still doesn't know if they'll be able to receive any money at a time when rent and payroll are due in days.
I will reopen when we actually are able to get cash, not just the promise of cash, but actual.
What do you think, baby? About the Head Start and all that shit. Because Trump and his people are trying to say, no, you guys are going to get your money. I don't believe that. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. And I don't trust the reason they're doing it. They're doing it. Their goal is to take the money away and not fund these programs and eventually shut them down.
Right.
Because once they find, if they find anything that may seem off, they're going to use that to shut whatever entity that is down.
Right.
So their true goal isn't to, it's not like they're honestly and trying to like where corruption is. They're not trying to find, you know, people that are like fucking over the money, pocketing money, stealing money, overspending money. That's not what their true goal is. Their true goal is to shut this stuff down because it helps black and brown people and poor white people, which Trump doesn't like either.
Right.
That's the goal of that. That is to shut shit down, not to make sure everything's on the up and up. And that's what some people are falling for.
Right.
Oh, it's okay if he doesn't. No, it's not. No, it's not.
And, like, you can still audit a department without pausing it. So.
Exactly.
Like, which the explanation is that he's, you know, they're auditing all these programs. But you don't have to pause it.
Exactly.
Like, that's just extreme.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying, like, why does it need to be shut down while you're looking into things, which you're really not doing? Like I said, the whole point behind it is bullshit.
Yeah. Where's Chewy?
I don't know where Chewy is.
I mean, we were in the bathroom.
I know he was out here running around earlier. Yep. Yeah, y'all, so we're just sipping on the coffee, listening to some jazz music. This is Art Blakely and the Jazz Messengers. Blue Note 4003. Yeah, y'all go check out Art Blakely on the YouTubes, jazz artist. So yeah, coffee's good. Just chilling, watching the news. What, baby? You found him? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go pull these clothes out and then come back in and share this cigarette with Michelle. Finish getting ready for work.
If I'm going to finish finish my coffee and then get in the bathroom so we can get out of here around 6.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on in the news, y'all, and we'll be back. So we're going to put this on pause. Take a pause for the cause. I'm going to go, I got to go pull these clothes off the dryer. We'll be back. Enjoy this Art Blakely for about a minute, y'all. It's the middle of the week. I think we could all use a little jazz music and to settle our mind. You know, they say jazz music calms the savage beast.
Hey Mario. Code Master Ceremony. These niggas don't even know what that means. That means I'm an MC, man. You know? Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell. The mixtape.
For crying sake, live asleep, die awake, and I ain't trying to get fat, I'll divide the cake. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, hide the eights, and I'm trying to stay positive, but a while out. And who am I to lie to fate? But I ain't trying to ride the gate, getting wise. While I'm institutionalized, see my man on the dance floor boofing them knives, selling dope independent, send loot to their wives. You all know the meaning of grinding, street life. Meet life with bad timing. We all was involved in climbing. I went from dead broke to going out whining and dining. European cars, jewelry shining. Yeah, fool.
Pavement.
I'm on my way out here right now.
Phantom Empire.
I feel like I'm in the past life.
What?
You know, maybe a future one.
You see it?
Nigga. Can't sleep, can't eat. Got me on a mission, sitting in the kitchen. Think about the guns, I need the brand new additions. Now I need the level head, demons on my back. Cause I'm thinking with the devil's head, Allah will buy me the sword, so I can cut the devil's head. He got a hold on the ghetto, we forever dead. These niggas walk around like zombies. It's us versus them and we can't even see they army. They coming through the airways, internet bombing. They put the squeeze on like Charmin. This shit is too deep for the dum-dums. Condos in the hood now, fuck where they come from. They take the hood and disintegrate it. And got the nerve to say they motherfucking renovating. And got the nerve to say they motherfucking integrating. All they...
So it's crime time, y'all. It is crime time. So this one is out of, let's see. Hold on. So this violent white dude, this white thug, got out of his car and pointed a gun at the head of a black woman and repeatedly threatened to shoot her in the head in a completely unprovoked attack. Yeah, a lot of them do lack self-control. The white criminal, I mean, they'll be so angry at the world, man. Y'all need to get out your mother's basement, man, and get a job or something and learn how to deal with people and get some life skills, some criminal rational thinking. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
This evening, a 60-year-old North Carolina man is behind bars in Marion County after he was caught on camera threatening a woman at gunpoint. The video
A black woman.
This happened right outside of a busy gas station on Indy's northeast side.
Yeah, tonight, Fox 69's Jesse Wells is talking with the man who recorded that video, and he joins us now to explain.
See, they need to be better at that. They need to say a black woman instead of just saying a woman. See, they'll be like leaving out the racial parts of this, and that's what that kind of goes to what I was saying about like podcasters and YouTubers and stuff like that. I wish y'all would be better at talking about that part of it, right? Especially like the crime podcasters, the ones that do the crime podcasts and stuff like that. Like, I ain't hating on y'all, because we listen to crime podcasts, right? Love crime podcasts. But I notice a lot of time there'll be like racial elements in the crime, like this, for example. This clearly is a racial incident. This white man is threatening this black woman. It's racial. There's a very good chance it's racial. But, like, for example, if someone were to do this story, they would just talk about the story, but they wouldn't talk about the race element and how that plays a major role and why it's even taking place. So I wish podcasters would be better at that. And I know sometimes, because, you know, most podcasters are white, they don't want to touch racial stuff. Even if they're some of the, we say the good whites, they don't want to touch certain stuff because they don't want to get kicked out the white club. You know what I mean? And then you have the ones that will. You have the ones that just don't give a fuck. They stand up and they stand on what they believe in. And we need more people like that. Because let's just face it, like when black people and brown people talk about racism, a lot of times it falls on deaf ears. It's like we're just talking to each other. You know what I mean? But a lot of times white people don't want to hear it. That's why sometimes it's better when you have a white person talking about racism, being against racism and stuff like that, because it hits a little different. You know what I mean? So, let's see. We'll start this over.
This evening, a 60-year-old North Carolina man is behind bars in Marion County after he was caught on camera threatening a woman at gunpoint. The video you see there, this happened right outside of a busy gas station on Indy's northeast side.
Yeah, tonight, Fox News' Jesse Wells is talking with the man who recorded that video. He joins us now to explain what happened. Jesse.
Luckily, no one was seriously injured during the armed confrontation here in this gas station parking lot behind me, but witnesses hope the crime serves as a lesson to everyone to settle their conflicts without picking up a firearm. Overhearing an argument Tuesday night outside a speedway at 56th and Emerson, a witness started recording a fight on his phone between a woman sitting in her car and a man standing next to her door.
A black woman.
Multiple witnesses began yelling for help after the man pulled out a gun and violently pointed the weapon at the victim's head.
She didn't do anything to show signs of aggression, so he definitely took it to the extreme.
Kevin Edwards recorded the
fight. Because he didn't like it because she was black. All that rage and was coming out because she was black. That's what it was about.
That was completely unnecessary to pull a firearm.
I don't know why you're pointing your gun like you're a cop or something. The suspect, 60-year-old Mark White, held the woman at gunpoint as they argued for several more minutes until police arrived.
That's why I was saying on the recording, who the hell does this guy think he is, you know?
Once on scene, officers arrested White for intimidation and battery with a deadly weapon, as well as criminal recklessness and
stinking-ass racist.
According to court records, the argument started after White honked his horn several times at the victim, who was sitting at one of the gas pumps. The woman admitted she did have a gun, but she never pointed it at the suspect. Hey, man, don't do that, man. Get over, man. Kevin says he's just relieved no shots were ever fired.
I'm just glad that could have been worse. I would sleep better at night if just one person would realize that you have so much to lose and it can happen so fast. So just think about your actions before you make them.
Finally, the suspect is being held on a $30,000 bond pending the filing of formal charges.
Nice, good. Keep his ass in jail. Now, check this out. So these are some of the programs that are potentially might be impacted by, you know what I'm saying, that pause and the federal assistance and shit like that. So, you know, school breakfast and lunch programs and stuff like that. Like rental assistance for like Section 8 people, like, you know, and rent's due here in a couple of days too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what they're talking about.
Organizations that rely on federal grants and loans. Among the programs it could affect, school breakfast and lunch programs, Section 8 rental assistance, and temporary assistance for needy families. While a judge issued a short-term pause on the policy yesterday, Senate Majority Leader John Thune downplayed the freeze, defending it as something, quote, most administrations do.
I think they are clarifying it, and I think this is not unusual for an
Oh, there's Tim Scott's Uncle Tom ass in the background. Tim Scott, you clown, you black European, you land grabber sympathizer. You ain't getting no position in the cabinet, you dummy.
Joining me now is
out there shucking and jiving.
Boyle of Pennsylvania. He's the ranking member of the House Budget Committee and also sits on the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, thank you for joining us. I want to start first anecdotally about your district and what you're hearing from organizations there about the impact that this has had so far.
Well, great to be with you. You know, I'm right here in my home in Philadelphia. I represent about half of the city. It comprises my congressional district. It is a largely working class district of people who go to work every day, and a lot of them live paycheck to paycheck, paycheck by paycheck. So when we're talking about all of a sudden Head Start being frozen and Head Start facilities not able to access the portal yesterday, we're suddenly Medicaid frozen. You know, Medicaid is what pays for the majority of people who have an elderly parent or grandparent in nursing homes.
See what I'm saying? I'll stop it right there. Yeah, so Trump's on bullshit. And it's crazy that, like, people just allow him to pull the wool over their eyes and just, you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all got to be smarter than that. I'm talking to the ones that, you know what I mean? All right, y'all. Back to the episode. Michelle and I are going to be heading off for work in a few minutes. So take on the day. We're halfway through the week, and we'll holler at everyone later. All right. Peace. Trump, his punk ass, and his officials debate using Insurrection Act at the southern border. Let's listen in.
Administration is trying to eliminate so lots of people. And so the immigration laws are not so cut and dry. You may have come here illegally, but you still have a right to remain if you're going to be persecuted or tortured when sent back, if you have U.S. citizen family. So one of the critical things we're fighting for, and we've filed a lawsuit already, is to make sure that people have hearings and not just rounded up and put on planes. I think that's a basic American value, is people should get a hearing, basic due process before anything happens to them. So that's going to be a critical aspect going forward of what we're going to try and do, is to make sure people have hearings. The other thing is just from a public policy standpoint, we should not be rounding up immigrants at schools, hospitals. I think it doesn't make sense from a public policy standpoint. Also, bringing in local law enforcement, taking them away from fighting serious crimes to round up families makes no sense.
This is Lee Gellert. He's a deputy director at the ACLU. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting a good fight. All right, y'all. I'm about to go pull these clothes out the dryer, and holler at y'all later. Back to the episode.
They dance with the devil, they want to eat too. Niggas is hungry, they want to feast too. Watch for the streets, them shits will feed you. Fools days, let's go. If these walls could talk, and the floors could talk, and the project halls could talk, they would tell you he the nigga with all the horse. Move work from here out to Baltimore. Yeah, that's the old me, this the new me. Still keep it ghetto, I'm raised off of Gucci. 10 Woolrich, brown Tim's on. He ain't big, said he was king shit, he been wrong. My opinion, my dominion. Anywhere I'm at, yeah, jump start the engine. Get the riding, get the dying. 100 blunts lit, my niggas get the flying. 1/3 of the 3/3. Hear the pain in the ad-libs and reverbs. Been G'd up, better do your research. Searching the read, even when the beats work. Nice hand, give me bigger, use my feet work. Cool nigga, but I still let the heat work. Shit, Goose, you better slow down now. Tell these little niggas what you know right now.
Got this audio clip here, y'all. This will explain a lot about what white supremacy is. Check this shit out. This is back in the day too. So this is white supremacy in 47 seconds, y'all.
You studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama. And I can say you, because you're part of the whole system, you profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you've tried to force upon us is contaminated.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. This is even funnier. Now listen to what these white people say. Some white people, y'all. I didn't say all. Y'all got to be able to sift through the comments. So this is this white dude asking these other Trumpers basically about immigration and Jesus. This takes the cake.
Jesus was here right now, would you let him in? Of course I would. Why? If Jesus was here right now, would you let him in? Of course I would. Why? As long as he came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally, we would let him in. If Jesus was here right now, would you let him in? Of course I would. Why? As long as he came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally, we would let him in. Thank you. No, thank you.
Gets funnier every time.
I guess Jesus needs papers too. Well, I mean, this shit is crazy as hell. It gets funnier and funnier. Said Jesus Christ is only welcome if he comes here legally. Oh, let's see what Tupac had to say. The great Tupac. Said the realest people don't have a lot of friends. That is true. Yeah. Let's see what Tupac was saying.
For these goddamn churches, if the churches took half the money that they was making and gave it back to the community, we'd be all right. If they take half the buildings that they use to praise God and gave it to motherfuckers who need God, we'd be all right. We'd be all right. Have you seen some of these goddamn churches lately? It's ones that take up the whole block in New York. It's homeless people out here. Why ain't God letting them stay here? Why these niggas got gold ceilings and shit? Why God need gold ceilings to talk to me? Why do God need colored windows to talk to me? Why God can't come where I'm at, where he sent me? If God wanted to talk to me in a pretty spot like that, why the hell he sent me here then? You know what I mean? That make ghetto kids not believe in God. Why? So that's a wrong religion. I believe in God. I believe God put us wherever we want to be at. Then it makes sense that God will put us in the ghetto. That means he wants to work hard to get up out of here. That means he's testing us even more. That makes sense. It makes sense that if you're good in your heart, then you're closer to God. But if you're evil, then you're close to the devil. That makes sense. I see that every day. All that other spooky shit don't make sense. And I don't even believe, I'm not dissing them, but I don't believe in the brothers. I was in jail with them and having conversations with brothers. God, open the gate for me. You know how far the sun is and how far the moon is? How the hell do I pop this fucking gate and get me free up out of here? Then I'll be a 5% for life.
Yeah. All these abandoned buildings, like just here in Milwaukee, there's so many abandoned buildings. You remember, this was some years ago already, that Marquette used to own that Ramada Inn over there on Michigan. It's demolished and not a thing anymore. But I remember some years back, like, people were trying to be able to use that Ramada Inn hotel for homeless people.
Yeah.
And Marquette owned it. And they were like, nope. Could have totally used that thing. It was just sitting there, abandoned. But they rather just sit there instead of letting people use it because they just didn't want homeless people up in there. Got one more video clip for y'all for right now. So this Latino brother right here, and he's talking about, you know what I mean? He's kind of talking about what we were talking about, how we were telling, some of y'all black and brown people that were supporting Trump, we were telling y'all, dude, nope, don't do that. Don't fuck with him. Do not vote for him. Look, this, that, right? But y'all still wanted to do what y'all wanted to do. And so this clip, it says, Ebro reminds Latinos that he warned them to unify with black people to keep Trump out of the office, as some Latinos are now complaining about his execution of mass deportation and says, quote, they don't want you to be successful if you're not white. Let's check this out.
I like being like, I told you so. I actually like being like, I told you so. I'd be lying if I was like, yo, I hate to be the guy. No. If I took the effort to tell you something and I was right, I like being that guy. Feels good. Well, if I took the effort to tell you, that means I'm serious, man. I was trying to help you. Throw your hands up like, hey, man, I told you. Told y'all. That's great. You know what I mean? Don't be like that. Why? Because, you know, sometimes people... I don't even understand why that's the thing. Don't be the I told you so guy. Why? Why not? Because why you want to kick people when they down? Because I tried to lift you up before you was down. But they didn't understand. I told you so. That's why I'm hit you with the I told you so. I don't understand why that's a bad thing.
They didn't want to understand.
Yeah, they didn't want to. It didn't click somehow. So that is, bro. The effects, and you like, I told y'all.
Oh my God.
I still don't understand why that's bad. It's not computing. Well, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Well, no. Bad, but it's not good. Right, because what I told you was going to happen wasn't good either.
Exactly. I don't feel bad. The only reason I feel a little, I ain't going to say bad, but a little concerned is because all of this stuff is going to affect us all, no matter what party you're in. And I care because Latino and black people, those are my people, because I'm both. But at the same time, I ain't going to lie to you, about 60% of me don't give a shit because of all the time and effort that we put into it, trying to explain to people. And the other part of it is the 88% of us, black and brown people, that were supporting Kamala Harris. The other 12%, they helped fuck us over. And a lot of them have this attitude now, like kind of like, oh, we're just, Trump won, so he's going to do what he does, and that's just, it is. Just buckle up for the ride. No, fuck that. Nah, ain't no buckling up for no ride. We shouldn't have to be buckling up for this ride. And then for Republicans and black Trump supporters to just basically tell us to get over it, nah, it don't work like that. Now, maybe if we heard some black and brown people that supported dude coming out and being like, man, I made the wrong choice, man. I didn't think dude was going to be doing all this. Man, I fucked up. I should have, you know, like, that would be a little more accepting. And then you got people like Snoop Dogg's bitch-ass dudes getting on the radio and just basically doubling down on what he said and did. He knows he's wrong. And the thing with Snoop is, dude's trying to act like he don't give a shit. He tried coming out saying some stuff like, we need to stop tearing each other down. Dude, get the fuck up out of here. Because what you're doing is adding to all of that. You're adding to all the chaos. Because just some years ago, he was sitting up there talking about which one of y'all are going to fuck with Trump and all this. I'm going to roast you and all this other shit. And then you ended up being the first one doing it. How bad of a look is it for Snoop? And I know in his heart of hearts, he gives a fuck. When people say they don't care about what people think about them, that's a damn lie. We all care what people think about us, some more than others.
Right.
But we truly care.
Everyone cares.
Everyone does. I don't give a fuck.
It's human nature.
It's human nature. You can't get away from that. Like I said, some people can be by themselves and not deal with people better than others can. But we are human beings. We need human contact by nature. It's just how it is. So when people say, I don't give a fuck, they do. In dude's career, just think from the beginning of Snoop's career, all the court shit he went through, all the stuff, the resurrection, how he turned his life around, how he just became doing all this stuff, this Renaissance man, just like everyone was in love with Snoop, right?
Right.
And then he does this, pretty much kind of towards the end of his career, pretty much. And this is what people are going to remember about him. I don't give a fuck what he said.
Slightly older than us, maybe by a year or two.
Yeah, and this is what he's going to be remembered for. All the old Snoop, the Uncle Snoop, everyone loving Snoop, that's going away. His image is tarnished. He knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
I wonder what Martha thinks.
I don't give a fuck what he says.
I wonder what Martha thinks of it all.
She can't be too happy about it.
That's his best friend.
You know, because people feel stabbed in the back. And then that's all you can come up with is, we need to stop. Is that your way of saying that? Like, I don't know what he's trying to say with that. Is that his way of trying to get us to be like, oh, yeah, you're right, man. We are all... No, dude, you help add to all of that with that bullshit because you turned out to be a phony and an imposter. Same thing with that Tory Lowe. Dude has a nerve to get on the radio talking about, oh, well, Trump won, and people on the left, y'all just need to buckle up for the ride. Fuck you and what you stand for. I wish nothing but the worst for that Tory Lowe. About what?
Made some comment about a brick.
Oh, yeah. He said something about a brick. Basically, we're going to have to go back and listen to that. Yeah.
Well, he was saying, like, the executive orders, they're just ideas. No, they're executive orders, son. They're a thing.
What were you saying about the orders and stuff, about the money being frozen? Because Tory was on there trying to talk about, oh, well, they're just looking into stuff. Pete, that ain't going to stop the money from flowing. They're just looking into stuff to make sure, dude.
Like it stayed until somebody files, until like, I don't really know how that works. Well, I mean, like individual states can file like lawsuits or whatever. But like until Congress is like, no, hold up, we got to look into this. When they say that, then his order is stayed. But until they do that, it's in place.
Right.
And so, but like, yes, it's supposed to stop, but it doesn't mean his administration is going to stop it. That's the other thing. Like he, for example, like the money to Ukraine that was agreed upon in the budget, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
He's saying, nope, we're done. Cut off. So the money's cut off. I mean, I don't know the specifics. I'm just giving an example. But Congress already passed it as part of a bill.
And they got to be feeling some type of way like, dude, like, they feel like he's stepping on their toes all the time?
Yes. And like, and Tory's saying these are ideas, this is part of his policy, this is what he ran on, this is what he wants to happen. Okay, but he has to do it through the proper channels. He has to go to Congress and say, I want these things done. And then they need to work on it and put a bill together and then put it in front of him and he signs it. That's how that process works. I mean, loosely, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wish people would understand
and I feel
stuff
like
more.
And I don't claim to understand it 100%. But, I mean, I think executive orders were designed for, like, an emergency type, like the border stuff. That's kind of an executive order type thing.
But not just everything.
But not everything. That's an immediate crisis.
Or like a disaster, like a natural disaster or something like that.
Right, like the California wildfires getting funding to California. That's an immediate response. That Hurricane Helene, apparently people are still having issues. However, don't cry like, this is the first time this ever happened. Look at Hurricane Katrina. Some of those people are probably still living in trailers waiting for, a lot of people were in public housing that has not been rebuilt. Or, I don't know where they're at with all of that, but from what I've heard and seen, there's still issues with Katrina.
Yeah.
So, and that stuff does take time. And I agree it needs to happen faster. I totally agree. I don't know what the holdup is. I think it's funding is the holdup. That, like, there's just not enough money in the FEMA budget to rebuild everything.
But it seems like whenever Republicans want something done, they'll find the money.
Oh, they'll find the money.
They'll find the money.
Because they cut other
And
programs.
that's part of what he wants to do. He wants to basically end all this stuff. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that he can use the money for other stuff.
He also wants to get rid of federal income tax, which some people at first are like, oh, great, more money in my pocket.
Wow.
And in theory, yes, that is more money in people's pockets. But where is the money for the government going to come from if it doesn't come from tax? He's saying it's going to come from the tariffs he's issuing.
You know, his taxes are going to get raised, though? Lower income people, like
Right.
it always is.
But when you're putting tariffs on other countries on incoming goods, what's going to happen? The price of those goods are going up.
Yeah.
So even though you don't have federal income tax taken out anymore, yay! But like your price of what's something that's
Car.
like, say, made in China? Yeah, made in China
Mitsubishi. That's Japanese.
But the price of buying a car will go up. The price of refrigerators, stoves, like anything that's made, or even parts of something that's made. Like, I think I was telling you, like my VW, the seats were made in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, you were saying, like, all car parts, like, they may come, like,
All
the seats
different.
may be from Mexico. The steering wheel may be from China.
But the engine
may
comes
be from here, or whatever.
China, or from somewhere in Germany or whatever. So, like, if you look at your car, there's, like, tags on everything.
Yeah.
Like, the seatbelt has a tag. We'll look in the Honda. But it'll say where it's made. So, even though Chewy's making so much noise this morning.
Yes, if y'all hear, like, extra background noise, that's Chewy.
the dog.
He's chewing on his rawhide.
Yeah. But, like, so even though you don't have federal income tax being taken out of your check, and that is helpful to a lot of people, but the cost of goods is going up.
Yeah.
So, like, you're saving money here, but spending money here.
It's like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Correct.
Yeah, fools. Pavement. I'm on my way out shit right now. Phantom Empire. Like I'm in the past life. What? You know, maybe a future one. You see it? Nigga. You see it?
Can't sleep, can't eat. Got me on a mission, sitting in the kitchen. Think about the guns, I need the brand new additions. Now I need the level head, demons on my back. Cause I'm thinking with the devil's head. Allah will buy me the sword, so I can cut the devil's head. He got a hold on the ghetto, we forever dead. Cause niggas walk around like zombies. It's us versus them, and we can't even see their army. They coming through the airways, internet bombing. They put the squeeze on like shaman. This shit is too deep for the dum-dums. Condos in the hood now. Fuck where they come from. They take the hood and disintegrate it. And got the nerve to say they motherfucking renovated. And got the nerve to say they motherfucking integrated. All they
Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump. Me wanna say thank you to you for deportation me to Mexico and give me 1 week's vacation. My boss never give me. Thank you for deportation me back to my country. 1 week, I be back. Thank you for deportation me back to my country. 1 week, I be back in U.S.
That's what I'm saying. Donald Trumpy. I don't know what he thought. People are going to keep coming back. You can send them back. They're going to come back and come back and come back. But see, here's the other thing. America thinks that all these people that they're sending back, you think that they're going to lock all of them people up? Because a lot of them people are done with their sentences. Or they're almost done with their sentences. A lot of them people are out. Just amongst us. Their citizenship hasn't been processed yet or whatever. Because how are you going to tell? And I know I keep going back to that Haitian migrant example, but they said he had been here for 17 years, in and out of jail and all this stuff. So this man's been fucking up, getting in trouble, whatever, all this time. Why is he still here 17 years later? My point with that is immigration truly isn't an issue. Only every 4 years is it an issue. You can go and look back on any presidential election. As a matter of fact, I have it on an episode some months back. I did an episode where they were Bill Clinton and whoever he was running against at that time. We're talking about immigration and all that stuff. During their campaign, during the debates and all that stuff, and the town hall meetings and all that stuff. Oh, and we don't fuck with that Art Bell anymore? Because we were listening to an episode, it was a couple nights ago, and this one dude called in, and you could tell he was Democrat. I'll just say that, left leaning or whatever. And he was talking about like things and the border and all that, and immigration, all that shit, and then just Art Bell, his stance on it was just like, yeah, I didn't like it. The way he was talking, it was like he was against immigration, and just the negative, just his energy about it was just foul and negative. You know what I'm saying? The way he sounded, it was like one of those. Remember I told y'all there's people, I think there's three kind of people when it comes to immigration. There's the people that are for immigration, but they'll tell you, oh, we need a better system and all blah, 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 right? And then you have the ones that talk about, not wanting people here because they're criminals and all this other stuff, right? And then you have the ones that just don't want black and brown people here just because they're straight up racist. There's a segment of those people that just don't want immigrants here because of their color. Because they're telling you in about 15 years, white people, y'all going to be the minority in this country. And if you think all them lawmakers and government officials and shit like that don't know that, that's part of the reason why they're doing all this. You get rid of a bunch of black, brown people in this country, you have less voters, because the majority of those voters are going to be Democrat. But here's the other thing, too. Republicans, what you didn't think about, is going to come back to haunt you. Promise you. All these 13 and 14-year-old kids and stuff like that, and these 16 and 17-year-old kids that are seeing their parents ripped away and all that stuff, you don't think they're going to remember that? So when you guys are all on the news and shit like that, like I saw that white lady, that the Department of Homeland Security lady, that stinking ass white lady, racist lady, she looks like she's had tons of Botox. Like they're recording themselves in that punk ass Tom, that Borders Our dude. So these people are running around recording themselves, at these raids and stuff. That's all for show. People are going to remember that, though. People are going to remember that, because that stuff never goes away. And black and brown people are going to be looking like, who's the one taking everything away? Who's the one stripping everyone from their families? Who's the one? Oh, it's Whitey doing it. So it's going to come back to hurt y'all Republicans. Watch. And Trump, every day, he gets closer to death. He gets closer to death every day. The man's 80 years old. He can only won this last term. So he's got to deal with dude, hopefully not for 4 years. Hopefully he dies soon. So just keep that in mind, because the clock's ticking on him. He's basically at death's door. All right, y'all. Let me concentrate on the little stuff I need from the store. Get some bleach. See, oh, what a feeling. I still thought Lionel Richie was better with the Commodores. I mean, he had a few good songs, like when he went solo, but for the most part, I thought he was better with the Commodores. All right, y'all. Back to this episode. So I got this audio. This is out of Milwaukee, y'all. This is about the body cams. And It says a committee votes Milwaukee County deputies must release body camera video on deadline. Because, there's been a lot of conversation about that. So let's see what they're talking about. Don't mind the ads. Can't really cut the ads out, you know what I mean? So I'll just talk over them a little bit. Oh, it's just music.
Over whether to implement a new body camera video release policy for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
A county board committee approved a proposal to have the Sheriff's Office policy mirror the Milwaukee Police Department's policy. MPD is required to release video to families within 48 hours and publicly within 15 days in critical incidents like police shootings. The Sheriff's Office is against the change.
Is the timeline that's in question or a concern the 48 hours for the family or the 15 days for the public?
Potentially both. Certainly the 48 hours. Our current
no, you guys want time to doctor the videos up and shit.
An officer 48. They have to have so many sleep cycles before they are questioned or interviewed regarding an incident, and so that 48 hours right there is kind of conflicting.
What the fuck
the
you mean?
The proposal now goes to the full board. However, it is non-binding, meaning the board does not have the authority to write standard operation procedures for the department.
Yeah, so like with that body cam stuff, I think body cam should be released immediately. It's like everything's on it. Like it protects everyone involved. Because that's the stuff like the cops shouldn't be able to have 2 weeks to release a video. The video is the video. It's not going to lie. You know what I mean? And that's when people start getting to questioning stuff. You know what I mean? When it takes forever for people to see a video. Let us see the video. You know what I mean? And what's the point of having a body cam if you can turn it off, turn it on, pause it, and all that bullshit? That's a waste of money. If they're not going to use the body cameras for what they're supposed to be used for, it's a waste of money. The police already get more than half of our damn budget here in the city.